Okay guys, doing a little update here, something I want to show you. So I don't know, what's it been, 6-7 years that I been running the 3.4 when I did that swap from the 2.8 to the 3.4. Well, back when I did it, I went ahead and did that Jeep Wrangler, like the mid-80s Jeep Wrangler steering shaft upgrade to get the universal joints. But at any rate, I never made a video on that because there's enough videos out there doing that. I don't make videos on stuff other people do unless if I have something to contribute or I record it, don't get around to editing it, and somebody beats me to it. But at any rate, I wanted to show you an issue that I had with the lower radiator hose, okay? Now, I just replaced my lower radiator hose, and I'm going to try to use my finger here. You can see the Jeep steering shaft right at the tip of my finger. See how this hose goes up and above, kind of like that? The hose that I previously had on there, which I'll link a part number now, that one pretty much went straight through, and it literally sat on the Jeep steering shaft. Now granted, it sat on the stock steering shaft because the hose I took off was the same way, but there's like a dust shield that clips on that, you know, is conveniently there to protect it, and you kind of lose that unless if you want to rig something else up. But at any rate, back when I had done that, and I knew the hose rested on there, I had zip tied it up, okay? And stupid me, I only put one zip tie, you know? So I've been running around now bleeding out coolant for a few months. Oh, let me get over here. Okay, so here's the hose I took out. Now, as you can see, it still has that little loop, but the Continental that I replaced it with comes nice and high, and even this side comes in a little bit higher, okay? But from that rubbing, see, I had lost my zip tie. Fortunately, every week I check, but it happened when I was doing a trip to Oklahoma to get that 14 bolt 10.5-inch rear end, okay? But at any rate, I made it and I was good. I zip tied it up, and now I'm finally getting around to doing it before it explodes on me. But that really rubbed in a nice little shiner. You can see where I've just been slowly leaking out and having to top off my coolant. So now I finally did it. But I just figured that might be a nice tip for anybody still playing with the 60-degree engine family, to know that if your radiator hose is going to touch that Jeep steering shaft, or even the stock GM one, it's kind of nice the way they route this one. Make sure you either use the one I use, which will probably end up getting discontinued, but you can see it comes up so high, at least I think you can see, with all the hoses in the way. It comes up so high, it's got to mold back down, whereas the old one just literally went straight, like it'd be where my finger was, you know? So it's a real nice fit. Granted, it's going to make it, well, probably not. It's going to say it may make it a little snug because it's up real close to the power steering pump. Not touching, but close. So I'm sure when you do power steering pump stuff, you're going to wish you had the other built. But otherwise, the shaft's been beautiful. It's been great. My coolant ate off a little bit of my black paint. That was a rebuilt steering gearbox. No big deal. Eventually we're going to LS swap this thing and it'll be all good. My son's almost old enough to do that swap. You guys know I won't put a V8 in here until my son can do it with me. Gonna silver spoon his ass. Thanks for watching.